be fighting for our relationship, because there's days when I am too weak to continue to fight. I need someone else to fight.
I just want to get through one single episode without her crying. Just one. Is that too much to ask? I'm almost at the end of the series, and I swear, ever since she married into the family, there hasn't been a single episode where she isn't dabbing at her eyes like she's in a tissue commercial. I'm so sick of it. And the worst part? She's clearly going to keep it up all the way to the final. There's just no way a person cries this much. Oh, and side note, every time she and Cody pronounce picture as pitcher, I lose another brain cell. Absolute geniuses, the both of them. Also, she's never too fragile to go shopping. Funny how the waterworks never stop her from hitting checkout on Amazon. This is exactly why the whole one big house idea was doomed from the start. Every time the UPS guy showed up, the entire household would have seen Robin's little shopping addiction in real time. Her secret wouldn't have stayed secret for long. Now tell me, what exactly is her fight? Because last I checked, Cody's other marriages weren't her business. Is interrupting everyone and twisting their words into something self-serving considered fighting now? Because that's all she does. Interrupt, reinterpret, and reframe. That's not strength, that's manipulation. She claims she hasn't smiled once, but somehow she's got the energy to orchestrate drama like it's a full-time job. Honestly, I don't get what Cody sees in her or her permanent damsel in distress routine. If she looked like Shania Twain, okay, maybe then I'd almost get it. But this neurotic, passive-aggressive sob fest? No way. If I were one of the other wives, I'd have snapped ages ago. The crying, it's not just annoying. It hijacks every conversation and makes her the default victim in every situation. And that's coming from someone who is generally empathetic. But this would have broken me. We've got so much to dive into today, so let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight into it. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Elena here, and welcome back to my channel Reality Nexus X. Gotta hand it to Meri. Waiting until after Christine's wedding aired to announce she's dating? That was a first-class move. Seriously. Considering Christine has made it abundantly clear she wants no relationship with Meri whatsoever, it was actually a graceful gesture. Classy, even. I've been gaining a lot of respect for Meri lately. It feels like Meri's finally stepping into her own, and honestly, it's about time. Cody spent years pitting her against the other wives, and she stuck around way longer than she should have while he slowly chipped away at her spirit. No wonder she's easing into dating. After surviving that emotional demolition derby, she deserves a soft launch. When she appeared during the wedding specials, she seemed so much more self-assured. Honestly, I had a feeling she was seeing someone. There was just a vibe. And let's be real, TLC probably had a hand in the timing. Wouldn't want Meri's announcement stealing thunder from Christine's fairy tale ending, right? It actually makes sense chronologically, too. Christine left first, so her story wraps before Meri's next chapter begins. I'm glad Meri's growing, finally breaking free of the weird loyalty loop. They all got stuck in with Cody. Those women were clearly trauma bonded. Maybe someday, the original three, minus Robin, of course, can be friends. But it always baffled me how little they had each other's backs. That brand of faith really did a number on them. Wonky religion, wonky relationships. Just my 2 cents. The Browns' trip to Nauvoo and their little brush with the truth about Joseph Smith always gets under my skin. They're chatting with the tour guide and casually ask how many wives Joseph Smith had. The guide, trying to sound neutral, says, as best anyone can count, 33. Cody, ever the confident fact-checker, jumps in with, we believe he had 17. The tour guide just calmly responds, well, there's documented evidence for 33. At that point, you'd think some alarm bells would go off. Like how, why would your church give you a completely different number than what historians can verify with actual documents? But sure, let's say scholars disagree. Even if it were only 17, how is that not still wildly disturbing? 17 wives isn't exactly the mark of a humble, devoted spiritual leader. Are we really supposed to believe he was just out there providing for 17 women, and all their children out of pure charity and divine purpose? Then it gets even better. The tour guide, almost offhandedly, mentions that 12 of those wives were already married to other men, in every sense, when they became wives of Joseph Smith. That's when Robin has a full-on meltdown because, oh no, brother husbands. And he's not the only one. One of those women, who was part of this whole mess, wrote about what was really going on, and let's just say, it wasn't all spiritual bonding and celestial love. There was a whole lot of actual sex, some serious pressure, and more than a few people going along with it because they felt they had to. But somehow, the Browns just skip right over that. Doesn't fit the narrative. Janelle even pipes up with, "My testimony doesn't hinge on what his actions as a man were." Really? The guy was your prophet. The one who introduced polygamy as a divine commandment. But sure, let's pretend what he did in his personal life doesn't matter. That level of mental gymnastics is Olympic tier. And to be clear, this isn't just about the Browns. Mainstream LDS members aren't off the hook either. I've read a lot, and honestly, it blows my mind that anyone can read the actual history and still believe this stuff. Oh, and just to add a nice twist of irony, all of Joseph Smith's surviving, known children ended up rejecting polygamy. Wonder why that is. Also, every time someone says Nauvoo, all I hear is Naboo, and suddenly I'm expecting Padme to pop out in a regal gown. Anyway, I was raised mainstream LDS too. Learning the full truth about polygamy and all the other things the church keeps buried was earth-shattering. Leaving nearly broke me. I lost friends, family, my community. My in-laws even tried to sabotage my marriage over it, and the emotional fallout of realizing your entire foundation was built on lies, it's devastating. But of course, the church has built-in fail-safes for this. Doctrine to keep you scared, isolated, and in line. It's a system that protects itself at the expense of the people inside it. Did anyone else absolutely lose it when Robin said she wouldn't dance with Cody unless they took dance lessons first? Like ma'am. Meanwhile, Christine, David, and most of Cody's kids are out there living their best lives on the dance floor. No lessons, no rhythm, just pure chaotic joy. Arms flailing, hips confused, and not a single coordinated move in sight. And guess what? No one cared, because they were having fun. Robin's little comment just screamed, "Our marriage is choreographed, or it doesn't happen." The idea that she won't even dance with Cody unless it's pre-approved and rehearsed says a lot. Like a lot. That said, I kinda get where she's coming from. Cody doesn't exactly dance with people, he dances at them. It's all wild elbows and dramatic flinging. Honestly, his dance style looks like a safety hazard. So yeah, I hate to admit it, but I'm with Robin on this one. Dancing with Cody might require not just lessons, but a liability waiver. His moves, unhinged. Like, should come with a warning label, unhinged. Life after Sisterwives. Coming soon to TLC, we wish. Picture this, the OG3, Meri, Janelle, and Christine, finally sitting down without Cody and Robin in sight. No more awkward smiles. No more forced "I love polygamy" speeches. Just the raw, unfiltered truth about the chaos, the heartbreak, and how they've clawed their way out of it. Honestly, it'd be refreshing to hear them speak freely. Laugh, cry, roll their eyes about the past. Whatever feels real. Imagine them forgiving each other, moving forward, and giving viewers something more than Robin's eternal victim complex. Because, let's be real, nobody is tuning in for more Robin and Cody. No one. TLC, take notes. And Robin. Yeah, she's got some explaining to do. The gig is up, sweetheart. The tears aren't fooling anyone anymore. You're in the picture forever, sure, but the games, they're over. Time to retire the manipulation tactics. As for TLC, please, for the love of reality TV, no more DABSARK. That's dumb and barely still a real Cody for the uninitiated. If the OG3 do come back, it better be on their terms. Either give them time and pay them what they're worth, or let them show us how they're thriving post-Cody. Just them, moving on, healing, maybe even smiling for real this time. Of course, there's still the financial mess. Meri and Janelle are tangled up with Cody and Robin in more ways than one. Until those strings are cut, it might not be smart to open the trauma vault just yet. But you know what? Maybe we've seen enough. Maybe what we really want now is to see these women finally happy, living their best lives, and leaving DABSARK in the dust where he belongs. Janelle is the most normal brown adult. Sure, change my mind. Look, every single adult in that family has issues, including Christine. But on balance, Janelle seems the most well-adjusted. She's cool-headed, pragmatic, not constantly crying on camera, and doesn't have any glaring, deal-breaking character flaws, or so it seems at first glance. But let's talk about those not-so-glaring flaws for a second. Remember the whole Flagstaff disaster? That was Janelle co-signing one of the dumbest financial and emotional decisions ever made on this show. She told her kids to suck it up and move because she liked the scenery. Not exactly mom of the year behavior, and let's not pretend she couldn't do the math. The whole thing was a money pit with no clear future. Logical, level-headed Janelle decided her frontier fantasy mattered more than stability for the few kids still at home. Then there's her astonishing patience for Cody's crap. He insulted, ignored, and essentially abandoned her children, and Christine's too, for years. But it took forever for her to push back. Even after he dropped gems like the getting their pencils wet comment, truly father of the year stuff, she was still signing up for birthday dates and getting flirty. Don't you think I want you in my bed, girl? He threw your kids under the bus for breathing too loud. Take a hint. Savannah literally did nothing wrong, and he still iced her out. Janelle barely blinked. It wasn't until Cody's dysfunction impacted her directly that she finally started acting like there was a problem. She gives off major repressed energy, someone who never learned how to handle negative emotions, and just powers through like a stoic little soldier. She seems the most functional because she stays calm, keeps her head down, and quietly works for what she wants. But Seams is doing a lot of heavy lifting here. The rest of the adults are just more outwardly chaotic. Sure, Janelle looks normal on the surface. She's articulate, came from a more mainstream world, and knows how to blend in. But let's not forget, she willingly joined a polygamist cult to marry Cody Brown, had more kids than she could afford, and raised them in borderline poverty. She stuck around while Cody slowly withdrew from her and her kids, and even now, she talks like she'd do polygamy again. If only she could legally divorce that sentient tube of hair gel. Because yeah, that's totally what all the well-adjusted women in my neighborhood are doing. And yet, despite it all, some of the OG 13 kids somehow turned out kind of normal. Which honestly feels like a miracle, considering they basically grew up in a reality TV social experiment. So Maddie not finishing college. I get that college isn't for everyone, but I can't help feeling a little bummed that she seemed to hit pause so quickly and then dove headfirst into a super serious relationship. I'm not totally sure on the timeline, but I really hope stepping away from school was her choice and not just a byproduct of her relationship with Caleb becoming her whole world. She just seems so young. And then there's Caleb, already balding. And listen, no hate to bald folks. Bald is beautiful, truly. It's just that the sudden appearance of a skin Narmulk made me go, wait, how much older is he? And yeah, I know they're happy now, with adorable kids and all that. That's great. Seriously, I'm glad it worked out. But still, watching from the beginning, it's hard not to feel like she skipped that whole messy, carefree phase of young adulthood. You know, the part where you're figuring out who you are before settling down with someone significantly older. Edit. Wow, didn't expect the balding comment to hit such a nerve. To clarify, I wasn't insulting his looks. Hair has zero to do with worth. My point was, Caleb being nearly a decade older than a girl fresh out of high school just highlights the power imbalance. Age gaps like that can work, sure, but they're definitely more complicated when one person is literally just starting adult life. Anyway, I get it. Maddie seems happy, but it still feels like adulthood happened to her before she had the chance to experience it on her own. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and much love to you all.